Hi, my name's Hope Dean and this is my video on what I've learned about nonverbal communication. So, for instance, to get started, I'm fairly nervous, which you may see is me fidgeting, moving my hands around a little bit. So one fun fact is that 7% of the things that we communicate are actually through words, verbally. The rest of that is all through body language. So one thing that I kind of found cool was the idea of actually going through a door. So you see this on TV all the time, but I never really thought about it, especially when it pertains to politicians. So when you see Tony Blair and President Bush is an example that they used in the video. So when actually Tony Blair and President Bush go to walk through a door, President Bush puts his hand on the back of Tony Blair's back and gives him a little shove. That little shove actually means I'm dominant. And then to kind of put like a cherry on top, gives him a little tap on the back as into a like, you know what I'm talking about type thing. I personally thought that this was really cool because right now I'm trying to train a puppy. And so whenever I sit with him, he's a male dog. Whenever I sit with him, he always puts his paw on my leg. I never thought much about it. I thought it was super cute. He just wanted to be near me. And then the vet tells me actually what he's doing is trying to assert his dominance. He's trying to say to me, I own you. Another thing that came up in the video that I thought was really cool was the idea of norming. So you see this a lot of the time with especially celebrities. So what they do is that because they're always in the public eye, they're always in the media, they know that they're watched, they know that everything that they're doing, saying is going to be analyzed, right? So in the video they used Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. So Paris Hilton, she went to jail, as everybody knows. However, it was kind of cool watching when she came out what she did, what her body language was telling us. So when she came out, she did this kind of like pretty, like good girl type act. She put her hands together, she rolled her feet forward, or her hands forward, and looked very innocent. However, obviously, seeing as how she was coming out of jail, that was something that was staged. When you look at Britney Spears, I grew up with listening to Britney Spears when she was that nice, innocent person who always wanted to be in the public eye. However, as she became older and a little, she had some stuff going on in her life, she became to be viewed very negatively by the media. And when she got that negative image, she kind of tried to stray away from that spotlight. So what she would do is she would cover her eyes, because as everybody knows, your eyes can say 1,000 things. So she wore dark sunglasses whenever she went out in public so that people that were taking videos, so the media, all that kind of stuff, couldn't tell really what her eyes were saying. So another thing that I thought was cool was that the police officers also are trained on analyzing body language. So as you know, they, for an example, in the Middle East, so what they do is that when they're talking to each other, people in the Middle East, it is a custom for them to kind of yell. It's just the way that they portray their voices. And so there was an incident where a police officer got physical with somebody because they, here in America, were not used to that. So it's a really good thing that they are trained and analyzed on how to actually read that body language. So another thing that's cool, the lying. So you saw that when they were looking at Susan Smith case, so the one who abducted her children. So she claimed that her children got abducted. However, you could tell, analysts could tell just by watching her video, her statement, that she was lying. Because what happens is when you are in distress, when you are in discomfort, what happens is that the lines on your forehead, you get those lines, your eyebrows, your eyes, you can see it, right? You can see it in your face. And she really did try to put on a show, but you could tell. Like, you could just tell by looking at it, like I mentioned before, there was no lines where her husband, David, had all the lines going. He looked very, very, very concerned. So I thought that that was kind of cool. And another thing is a handshake. So I always know, we've always been taught time and time again how important a handshake is, and it really is true because, again, with the dominance, getting the upper hand means everything. Thank you.